Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Matt Sedas and I'm an artist and illustrator from Brazil. And today I'm going to be speaking on a very important topic, which is how do I find my own art style, or how do I find my voice? It is a very relevant subject and it can be very frustrating. I know that because I have personally experienced that. I have undergone through this kind of frustration, and I know it can be very difficult. And just to state that the things I'm going to share here are my own experience and my own realization. They do not necessarily correspond to what other artists are saying, and they are not the ultimate true, because in terms of art there is not such a thing as the ultimate true. There's not one true. Each artist has its own vision and the things that work for each one of them. So this is what works for me, and I hope it really works for you as well. Tip number one: the art that you like to consume, that you like to see, not necessarily corresponds to the art that you like or that you're going to like to produce. These are two different things. Okay, I took a really long time to have this realization, despite people telling me, it took time for me to actually realize that, because at first I was really into oil painting, and I was admiring artists like Larry Elmore, Keith Parkinson, that are artists that work in a very detailed way, very polished, and I admire them, so I wanted to be like them naturally. And I was, surrounding myself with their artwork that was like influencing my teen years as an artist. So I felt that, okay, so this is what I love, so this is what I'm going to do. So after a long time, I realized, no, that's not what I like to do. That's what I like to see. That's what I like to consume. But me, myself, I just don't have the patience to work detailed with oil painting. I'm a fast-paced artist. I have ADHD. So for me to spend all that time on a painting, like spend weeks on top of a painting, is just really exhausting. It's time consuming, and I try to work that way, and it was like, I was miserable because it was not natural to me. So it's very important to find the way that you like to work, and that can be completely different or even completely opposite from what you like to consume. Tip number two, and this is a very important one: learn one medium. You don't need to be an expert on that medium, but at least learn how to work with that particular paint, or that particular way of working. Because if you don't learn a medium, you're going to be constantly battling against the medium, and this is going to affect the very style of what you're painting. So if you don't know your stuff, if you don't know your medium, you're not going to be able to kind of rise above the technical issues. So and put yourself in a way that you're actually comfortable, to work, and that the work that you're producing looks natural and look effortless, which is one of the main points about art style. It should look effortless. It should look natural. It should look as something that is genuine, that is coming from your heart, and you're just letting your inner artwork, let's put it this way, your inner artwork to come out, and the person that is seeing your artwork shouldn't bother about the medium. The person shouldn't be distracted, by your ability or your lack of ability to do a certain thing. The person should be only captivated by your expression, by your artistic idea, by your vision. So this is very important. So if you're enjoying these tips so far, don't forget to subscribe on my channel and like this video. I'm a very new channel, so I really need your support, and hit that notifications button so you can be aware when I launch a new video. And also I do have my own Patreon, which I have just launched, and there I will also be sharing many tips and hacks on how to improve your artwork and showing my process of coming up with my illustrations. So it will be really appreciated if you can support me on Patreon. So that leads us to tip number 3, which is, at least for now, throw away the concepts of good or bad. Terms of good or bad have absolutely no place when we are talking about style. The word you are looking for when you are coming up with your style, or you're trying to, you're diving into yourself and trying to find your voice, the word you're looking for is interesting. That should be your parameter of measuring everything, because good or bad are super relative. They depend on a historical context, they depend on a certain industry. Also, they are very, very, changeable parameters. Even because you can see some super successful artists that have a really strong style, and they do not necessarily draw everything in a good way, let's put it this way. They may be even kind of lacking some fundamentals in some aspects of their drawings, but the thing is, in the bigger picture, it just works. It works with their style, it works with what they are trying to show, and it seems effortless, it seems natural. It just may seem that it's something that they are just not, they don't care too much, but it just works. It becomes interesting in the bigger picture. So don't try to just keep, focusing on your flaws or judging if your drawing is good or bad, but try to be guided by what is interesting, what is more something that is interesting to you, that is, gives you passion, and that can make others to be passionate about as well. And the fourth tip is embrace what is easy for you. As artists, I think as a group, we have this characteristic of trying to challenging ourselves constantly and just constantly looking at our flaws. I don't know how to draw feet, I don't know how to draw hands, I have difficult drawing horses, and we keep, just battling against those difficult issues that are for us, which is fine. We should know how to draw things, we should constantly improve our drawing skills, and that means we have to often go out of our comfort zone. But just remember that what is easy and comfortable for you to draw, not necessarily it's easy and comfortable for other people. Sometimes it's to find your style is very important to look at those subjects or those things or those mediums that are really effortless and easy for you, because maybe the answer is there. For me, for example, I have drawn trees like since my childhood, and when I started illustrating professionally, I thought, oh, these are just trees, nobody cares about trees. For me, they are just so easy. It's part of me. I like trees, so I like to draw trees, but they are just so, it's just so common for me. I took it for granted, let's put it this way. And it took me a long time to realize that people like my trees for some reason. I rationally, I don't know why, but maybe because they are so effortless for me, I do them so naturally. People somehow feel connected by that. People, told me that my trees, they seem to be alive. Why? Because I have absolutely no struggle to draw them, and for some reason my art, like my inner self just flows through the sheet of paper, through my hand and my drawing abilities when I'm drawing those trees, because it's completely mundane for me. So maybe that's something that you can take advantage of. If you have something that is very easy for you, maybe besides challenging yourself and drawing things that are out of your comfort zone, try to push the things that are easy for you to a next level. Use the things that are easy for you and push them to illustrate in a way that maybe people are not used to, or that is really different, or you having, a new take on a very easy subject for you. So try to use the things that are easy for you to come up with new ideas and new style, and try to merge those ideas with things that are maybe, if you're trying to work in the industry, try to merge these ideas with things that maybe are prominent in the industry that you're interested in working with. This can actually makes you stand out from the majority of artists. So keep this in mind. So just something extra that occurred to me is that I wanted to tell you that you have to be patient. I think there are some videos there on YouTube where some artists, they tell you that you can find your style, in immediately, instantly. You're going to find your inner voice and everything is going to be fine. It may happen, but generally it takes time. So you have to accept it takes time, because style there is the technical side, there is the material side of style, but there's also this inner dive. You must dive into yourself and understand what you really like and don't like. You must understand what you're being influenced by the industry or by games or everything else, and that are maybe they are making you like certain things that maybe are not genuine for you, or maybe you like because this is going to pay you better, or because there's a market for this or for that. But you really have to dive into yourself and discover the real reason and the real motivation when you're sitting on the front of a paper and trying to come up with your art. Because even though if you're going to produce something for an industry that is not completely genuine for you, you must know that. You must know what you're doing, so you don't get confused about what is your style, about what is your own view, your own vision about the world and about your artwork, and what is that you're going to coming up to do for a client or an industry. You have to have these things, really in each of its place inside of you. So this requires time, so don't rush. It's a long journey, but it will pay off, because you're going to be able to actually produce pieces that are genuine, that you really care about, and that people will also care about. So I really hope this video has helped you and somehow in some level to understand better what you need to do to find your own style. And if you have any questions or any comments, please go on the chat below and make your comments and questions. I'll be very happy to answer them. And I'll see you on the next video. Bye bye.